technical difficulties, the first few minutes of episode 61 of Bum's Corner Coast to Coast was permanently lost. This is where Tom and Mike discuss the new direction of the show and the new title, Columbus is Real. We will now join Columbus is Real, already in progress. Yeah, that I never left, and Tom has decided to call home once again and look at what's in Columbus through his eyes as somebody who was here and came back, and mine who was a regular. So I had thought about the show title for a few days and couldn't quite pinpoint anything. And so I made this like little spreadsheet where you could pick from different columns as like a choose your own show title. And then Tom out of nowhere said, what about Columbus is Real? And had had sort of mocked up the Hell is Real billboard. And I thought, honestly, that works because that billboard is something that, as somebody that's lived here forever, I've seen it a million times. And I always gauge, if I don't have to pee when I see Hell is Real, I'm going to make it to Cincinnati without having to pee.
Oh, nice.
And anybody that's not from the area sees that and thinks, what in the actual fuck is that doing in a field?
Yeah.
And what is the story? And,
right.
Or it's just there.
Yeah. It's sort of one of those, nationally, I don't know if international is correct, but I know at least nationally.
Right.
The Hell is Real billboard in Ohio is people know that have never been to Ohio.
Right.
That's just one of those things. Like back in the day, Big Butter Jesus.
Yes.
There are people who have never been to Ohio, but know they connect the dots. They hear Ohio, they think Big Butter Jesus. The Hell is Real sign is kind of one of those landmarks.
I can see that. And again, if you're here long enough, you don't see it anymore.
Right.
It's the concrete cornfield in Dublin.
Yeah.
Which, if somebody that's driven by that a million times for work, it's just there.
It's just,
but nothing. You bring somebody from outside of Columbus, what is wrong with you people?
What in the actual hell?
Yeah. So every month we're going to get together and we're going to talk about some place that we've been, either for the first time or the millionth time. And just, talk about our experiences of Columbus as, again, somebody that's back and somebody that never left.
Yeah, and the cool thing is, I think, there are a lot of places that are here now that we're going to visit that I've never been to, that didn't exist when I lived here, that you frequented, which is going to be cool because I get to see it first time.
Right.
And then I get the opportunity as well to go back to places that we haunted years and years ago.
Right.
And, here it is, 25 years later. It's like, oh, wow, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, to sort of track the changes and, does it still bar?
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Does it still bar? So, again, same old show, same idiots.
Yeah.
Just kind of a different focus. Yeah. And columbusisreal.com is ours, and it points to our website, so you're able to find all our old shows, all our upcoming shows. We're toying with trying to go remote if we can find a home out there.
Yeah, it would be really cool to be able to do this on the road, take this live someplace.
Yeah, I'd love to do it, just hanging out with our friends and replicate that entire experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that would be the thing. We would do it, have it, reserved well enough in advance so that everybody that wanted to or could, make the time, could come by and if they wanted to be on the show, be on the show. If they wanted to just hang out and buy us drinks, that'd be cool too.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to that. Yeah, especially that second part.
Right, do that.
Yeah.
So that's in the works.
Yeah, so that's where we are. So again, same old show, different name, different focus. So again, instead of bullshitting about, hey man, what'd you do this week? Now we're saying, here's what we did this week.
We did.
Yeah. And it's worked out that, luckily we get to see each other often enough that we're not even going to have to make plans. We'll have to pick from the things that we've been doing to find the focus.
Yeah.
So to kick this entire thing off, it's one of my favorite music venues here in town that this was, and I'm correct me if I'm wrong, this was your very, very first time there.
Yes.
Not in this iteration of your life in Columbus, but ever.
Ever.
Is that correct? Okay.
Correct, yeah. I don't think it existed
I don't think so. And again,
in 1999.
Peggy can help us out here, but I don't think so. So this past Wednesday, we went to Natalie's Grandview, which is a bar restaurant that is also a music venue.
Yeah. Very cool, kind of swanky,
Yeah.
but not like pretentious swanky.
Not at all.
Like the Grandview I left was sort of, Grandview's like a phoenix.
Okay.
There's a cycle that Grandview goes through. And I was leaving on the downslide.
Right.
And so I figured, all right, well, Natalie, I hear Grandview things. I'm like, what kind of pretentious?
Right.
This is, where people graduate from Ohio State and they get that first decent paying job, but they all move to Grandview.
Yes.
And they have a little bit of disposable income, but they want to be seen and be seen, sort of thing. And so that kind of was like how I remember Grandview when I left.
Right.
Very happy to have experienced that. No, this was very cool and down to earth.
Yes. This was old Grandview. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, great little club.
Yeah, it's awesome. And again, it's someplace that we've been frequenting. They had a location in Worthington. I want to say, like, if you're at St. Mike's, it was just south of there on the west side of High Street. They went out of business maybe a couple summers ago. It could have been 2 or 3. I don't know. I'm a terrible judge of time, but it was even smaller than this one. But the Grandview location I think it's right on 5th. And so the front part of the restaurant is just a little bar in the back, a bunch of like long wooden tables, and then a pizza oven and a stage at the other end of the room. The stage, if you can see the table we're working on, it's no bigger than this. It's tiny. And again, you're watching these guys make your pizza, which is it was so good there, so good.
Yeah.
But that stage is like just big enough for like a 3-piece jazz ensemble.
Yeah, 3 or 4 piece. If a 4 piece, they don't move around much.
Right.
But a great room. It's a big room.
Yeah, it is, and
it's a good size,
fabulous sound
room.
there.
And there's a patio that goes out.
Yep.
From that room, which looks pretty cool. And then there's like another little cafe type.
Yeah,
I forget what she called it.
New. Since last time I was there, they added that, so it's sort of like a 3-season room almost is what it looks like. So like off to the side, but their happy hours are fantastic because again, you have live music in the room with you as you're eating. We've happy houred out on the patio with the door open. The live music is just flowing as you're out there and hanging out and talking to your friends. Again, I can't say enough about the food there. The pizza is
damn good,
top notch. But besides this front room, there's also an entire music venue on the other side of the building.
Yeah,
and it seats I don't know if the tables are in maybe 50 to 60 people. But for bigger shows, they'll pull all the tables and chairs out, and you can fit maybe 100 people back there. Yeah. So
that's a good sized room.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great stage.
Yes.
The stage, I really like the stage. Very versatile.
Oh, absolutely. And again, I've seen a myriad of different eclectic shows there. And if you take a look at their schedule, it's a broad range.
Yeah.
I don't know who does the booking there, but they do a fantastic job. It's a lot of fun and full menu access before and during the show when you're at one of the concerts in the back. It's a great little spot. I mean, you can go there on a whim and sit up front. Or again, I love seeing shows there because I'm a huge fan of being able to book the exact seat I want, and I love sitting right next to the mixing table because no matter how good your mixer is, it's always going to sound best from where he's standing.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
So
you get seats in front of the mixing board, in front of the sound guy. Those are going to be good seats.
Best seats in the house.
Yeah. You may not be able to necessarily see everything that you want. In Natalie's, you could.
Yes.
But just as a general rule of thumb, you know, you don't always have the best seats for viewing.
Yes.
But the best seats for hearing.
Right there
by the sound guy.
Huge fan.
Yeah.
So, and again, I love it. I forget how I discovered it. It's been there for years, so I know I've gone there off and on. But we went to see something. It might have actually been an Everlasting Happiness show that we ended up going to see back there. And then next thing I know, we're going there like every other week just to get the pizza. You know?
Yeah. Tell you what, the pie is not bad. The pie is really good.
Yeah. And I love pizza joints that don't offer you a lot of selections. You know, there's no size chart or type of crust. Like
pizza.
Here are your 5 choices.
Yeah. These are the things you can have on the pizza.
Yeah.
It's this big.
Right. And this is what you're getting.
Yeah.
Or else go someplace else.
They do have a really good menu of more than just pizzas. That looked really good. We got pizza. But they have the sandwiches and other things, and you know, standard bar fare.
And honestly, sort of I think we were kind of working our way through the menu for a while, but there was one night we went in there and had like split a salad and a pizza, and I've never looked back.
Yeah,
I think we've ended up eating every single one of these pizzas.
Because you guys got a salad too, and that looked really good.
Oh, it's so good.
And it was a big salad. You guys split that. It was nice.
Yeah. And again, perfect size pizza for 2 people. Yeah. Their cocktails are so good too. And again, they don't have a huge cocktail list. They focus on what they're good at, and they're very, very good at what they do.
Yeah, I think Sarah got a funky frou-frou drink at some point. Yeah, when we first got there.
Yeah,
I forget what it was, but it looked really cool.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I stick with beer.
Yeah.
Typically. If it's going to be a long night, I'll stick with beer.
Right. Yeah. And so it was fun. We went to go see Lily Hyatt. It was the show we went to Wednesday, which, if you're not familiar with her, it's John Hyatt's daughter. But if you went to the show, you never would know it.
Yeah.
You know, she makes no reference to it. You can catch, if you're familiar with his body of work, you can hear it now and again in maybe some of her lyrics and her voice. And if you, in certain lights and angles, she sort of looks like her dad. But other than that, you'd have no idea that they were related. Yeah. You know, sort of a more pop sound, folk, I guess, was her sound.
God, it was like country, not country,
right?
But it had like not quite southern fried folk, but
you know that's not far off.
Because they were like she was rocking. They got some rocking tunes, that had a bit of a country feel to it.
Right.
Great lyrics.
Oh, absolutely, fantastic writing.
So. But yeah, there was a little bit of a country bend, but a lot of the stuff was rocking. And I think from what she was saying from the stage, it sounds like she kind of maybe altered the playlist because like she had played some songs and then she played a rock song and the crowd really liked it.
Yes.
And she's like, oh, okay. You guys like rock.
Yes.
Here's what we're going to do. Then from that point on, things were a little more upbeat.
Yes.
So I think she may have altered her playlist a bit.
Great sound, and like you said, man, that guitarist was just on it, man. That guy was so good, just solid, and they were very tight too. You can tell they've been playing together a lot too. Yeah. Their sound was so good.
And the girl on the bass, it was cool because like I would watch her and like out of nowhere she would just smile and sort of laugh to herself while she was playing.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm like, damn, what is going on in her head?
Right.
Because she would just be like just in it, just playing it, just doing the bass, and then she would just smile. Her eyes kind of half closed and kind of laugh. I'm like, yeah, that's like, dude, you got your best life going on right now.
Absolutely,
like, that's awesome.
Absolutely, yeah. And again, I never would have found her on my own.
Yeah.
I had no idea that John Hyatt's daughter was doing this.
Right.
So, I'm kind of glad we went. She was very far off my radar. So, and the woman that opened for her was Susie Chisholm. I had to look up her name because I couldn't remember it for the life of me. Sorry.
Chisholm.
She was very much more country, country folk sound to her.
Country folk roots.
But it was just her and an acoustic guitar. But I'll tell you what, everybody in that restaurant was watching her when she played. Very, very good writer. Her lyrics were spot on. And again, she was a smaller person on a bigger stage, so she didn't take up a lot of space. But at the same time, she filled that entire auditorium,
For someone who was almost barely taller than the guitar she was playing.
Yes.
She filled that space.
She had a huge presence.
Yeah.
And again, I think even at some point she was joking you could hear a fork drop in there because somebody literally dropped a fork. And it kind of broke the spell for a second.
Yeah.
But and again, so far off of my routine of things I listen to on the regular. I never would have found her music, but
no.
But that's the great thing about venues like that is they bring in people that you would never ever hear of. We saw the Ocean Blue there, last year or the year before, and there was a band called the Tullies that opened for them. And again, I never would have found them, but for that entire summer, I think that's all I listened to. Like Spotify, when the little DJ comes on, and he'll spout where you are and their percentage, the Tullies must appreciate you because you're in the top 2% of their listeners and things like that. So I was hooked on them for the longest time. But, that's sort of the fun of just jumping in and catching a show that's a little off your radar,
And that's one of those things that when we were there at Natalie's, I had a bit of a flashback moment back in the day when I was working at the radio station. And, that was just part of the life.
Right.
That you were, I was fortunate enough to enjoy for the time I was there. It's like, if we're going to go see this person's playing here, I don't know who that is, but what the hell, we'll just go.
Right.
You just would just go. Somebody would say, oh, no, yeah, she's cool. Okay, so you just go check it out.
Right.
Just go to, bounce from joint to joint and checking out bands.
Right.
I very much got that vibe from Natalie's. I felt very back in that element of oh yeah, this is cool.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, hanging out in the back by the sound guy.
Yep.
While something really cool happened up on stage.
So remembering back to that time when, and like you said, you could just grab tickets in the office.
Yeah.
Were there any acts that you saw that became part of your main listening that you saw on a whim?
Ooh. Nothing that comes to mind.
Okay.
Nothing local.
Right. Okay.
That became a mainstay.
Right.
Or staple in my playlist, as it were. Yeah, there weren't a whole lot of bands that I would be like, oh, hey, they're playing. Let's go.
Right.
Yeah, there was. I didn't have a favorite.
Okay. Yeah, and you were there in that peak time when there were so many one or two hit wonders in alternative rock too.
Yeah.
That would,
Columbus was so close to making it. All these great bands,
and then vanish.
Yeah. All these great bands, and then in the mid to late 90s that were so on the precipice of greatness.
Right
it was
there.
There it is. We're gonna take over the title from Seattle. It's gonna be Columbus, Ohio is the next big thing.
Yep.
And just never.
I think at that time Austin just ate our lunch and nobody looked towards Columbus ever again.
Yeah. Yeah, Austin, I forget what happened. There was a flex.
Right.
And Austin planted the flag and said, nope, it's us. Everyone just go home.
Right.
And it was it. For the next 5 years.
That was it.
If it wasn't from Austin, you just didn't hear about it.
Yep. Yeah, so, and again, it was kind of, I had fun watching you guys hang out in some place that I love, too.
Yeah.
At one point, you took a bathroom break and just vanished.
Yeah.
It's like you just checking the place.
I just wondered. You know how I do. I just wonder. I was talking to one of the waitresses for rolling silverware in the next room over, asking her about the joint. Like, oh, what's over here? What's over here?
Right.
Getting a little tour, watching the guy fire pizzas in that oven.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just,
It's a cool little place. And again, I highly recommend it. If take a look at the list of bands coming, and if nothing blows up your skirt, then just hang out in the front room and eat a really, really good pizza and catch whoever's playing at that front stage.
At the little sidebar. Yeah, that front stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's such a cool little joint. I will say, pleasantly surprised that, like, I forget what the name of the street is. Hills, whatever. There's a little side street that comes off of 5th.
Right. And for the life of me, I'd never be able to remember that. Yeah.
But, like, really right before you get to the building where Natalie's is, there's a big parking lot.
Oh, okay.
And there are signs for Natalie's parking only.
Right.
So they've got a big parking lot right next to their building. And then actually by the front door, there's, I forget what the business is, but there's a business that is next door to a different building, but they've got a parking lot. It's,
right. Oh, yeah.
They're a 9-to-5 type business, and so
ample
parking around the area.
Yeah.
Easy to get to.
And again, the happy hour, it's full. And in that front room, it is a little crowded because, again, they're just like 3 long tables basically is the entire room. So you get to know the people around you while you're eating, but it's just got a good vibe to it. Nobody in there is being a dick. There's no dude in a Ron John shirt with his glasses on backwards being an asshole. God. These people are here to enjoy and appreciate the Columbus scene. So, I'm kind of glad that it worked out with our pivot during year 5 that this was our first spot.
Yeah.
Just because
it timed out well.
Favorite. Yeah, absolutely, it did. It timed out very well. But yeah, that's one of my favorite spots to just go and hang out. And again, if there's some Friday night that you're like, you got nothing, just go sit in the front room and enjoy some music and hear something that maybe you never would have caught otherwise.
Yeah. And it's cool, like we said, like the makeup of the people, like there's a lot of gray hair in that room.
Oh yeah, it's skewed.
And I was surprised by that.
Right.
Like this is a new, like sort of up and coming. I mean, she's got an album out.
Right.
I'm not sure they're not really up and coming, but she's kind of on the, she's got a new album.
Yeah.
She's got to be 20, 30 something. So it was interesting to see like the demographic of the room.
I mean, looking around.
But I'm wondering, was it like
it's John
like
Hyatt.
us? It was like, let's go see John Hyatt's little girl make good.
Right. I think that might be it. that might be it. But yeah, and again, like depending on who you see, the entire audience shifts.
Yeah.
It changes to whoever's in the front of the room. Ocean Blue, it was all people our age or younger.
Yeah.
I don't think they've been within a 40-mile circle of a hit in a couple decades.
Sublime was kind of not even a hit. I don't think it was just popular.
Right. So it's not like younger people are falling into their music at any point. So it was mostly people our age. But you go and see, like in the front room, it's completely different. These are like younger people that are just cutting their teeth locally. So it's their friends that come to see them.
Okay.
We've been there. There was 2 or 3 nights where it would just be like a dude with a stand-up face and a female vocalist.
Nice.
Just, running a drum track on an iPhone, hanging out.
Yeah.
And for all we know, 10 years from now, they're going to be the shit. And we were here to see that.
Yeah.
No clue. We'll never hear from them again. But it's just, it's got that cool vibe to it. Like you're part of something maybe here tonight.
That's what it was always kind of cool back in the day. Just dropping in and checking out bands along High Street.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And in Grandview, because that was the scene, and so you never knew,
right?
And that's kind of cool that vibe is kind of back. I don't know if it ever left. I left. I don't know if that vibe left. But it's glad that I'm back and it's still here, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, those experiences where it's like, damn.
Right?
These guys need to get signed. Like, this could be big.
Yes.
In 5 years.
Absolutely.
Are we going to be able to find, could we get tickets to this?
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. We've been experiencing that with Teddy Swims. So, again, he's one of those musicians that I never would have heard of. We saw him at Newport 3 years ago. Yeah. And as we were leaving, Leah said, we're never going to be able to get tickets to this guy again. You know, a year ago during COVID, he was on YouTube just doing covers just to kill time.
Yeah.
And now, boom, he's
everywhere. He's huge.
He's everywhere. So, yeah, every time we've seen him, the venue gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And eventually he's just going to surpass us. But, yeah, it's got that feeling like you can put the music in the background, but, you know, you could also, like, just kind of focus in and think, holy shit, this person is either going to do this for fun for the next 30 years and never make a dime.
Yeah.
Or the guy that keeps bumping me because he's getting up for a seat to take calls is in the industry and is going to pick this up and pluck them and take them with them.
Yeah.
You know, to Nashville and start this person's life.
Yep. You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in late 90s, we had there were A&R guys were all over this town on the regular, just scouting, because there was such a vibe. There was a hum coming out of Columbus, and it didn't happen. Which,
yeah, but I mean, honestly, there's so many industries that we could say that about too. Like movie industries the same way too.
Right.
Like there's. It's
well, yeah, they just saw the De Niro movie that's coming out.
Yeah,
it was shot down in Cincinnati.
Right.
Okay. Well, they're talking about moving Sundance, and Cincinnati's trying to put in a bid to have Sundance Film Festival.
Honestly, I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so movies, who knows?
Yeah. So,
but yeah, no, Columbus forever has been trying to get into the movie business.
Right.
We've been trying to get into the music business, but it's one of those things that kind of, it's the charm, I think, about Columbus, is that it's like secretly awesome.
Yes. It's one of those weird cities that it's big enough that it has access to everything that major metropolitan areas have. But it's also small enough that it hasn't lost its personality, you know?
Yeah. Like all those amenities are available.
Yes.
Without the price, the crowds, and the pretentiousness.
Yes, and that's the thing. Like can you see a Broadway play here? Absolutely not. Are we close to off-Broadway? Yes, at a tenth of the price.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And again, there's a reason I've stayed here, and it's not laziness. It's a cool town. There, if you pull the rug up a little bit, there's some cool shit going on in this city.
Yeah, and it's always been that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was the cool thing about growing up here is, you just fall and stumble into things. It's like, holy shit, I can't believe we've got that here.
Right.
My God, that's so cool. We're in Columbus. They got one of the, wow.
Yes.
You know? So it's kind of cool. And Natalie's is a great place that sort of embodies that vibe, that feel of, that's cool, we got a joint like that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it's not a hard sell, like, again, we'll invite people to go. Like, yeah, and again, you describe that front room to people, and like, yeah, it's a little stage, mostly jazz bands, restaurant, and there's a pizza oven right next to the stage. We got to go see this. This sounds weird.
It's cool. It's like the swank factor is spot on.
Oh, yeah.
It's not overdone.
No.
Is there such a thing as tasteful swank? I think it is.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, it could so easily be douchey.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's just, it's very down to earth, and it's just a fun place to hang out. Mm-hmm. So if any listener ever wants to go there on a whim, dude, you can count me in. I'm 100% always down to go there. This place is so much fun.
I'm into.
All right, see that? That's some fun shit right there.
Right?
Yeah. And I will put this out here that if there are any places that you think we should go see, by all means reach out and let us know, and we will go hang out there. I'm assuming, just based on the past few months since Tom moved back, that we'll be covering a whole lot of breweries.
Yes. Yes.
And sprinkled in with some music venues.
Yes. Yeah. And I think we should, at some point, highlight what's going on the Bones of Polos.
Yes.
The time we spent at Studio 35.
Yes, that's definitely on the list. Yes.
And then, yeah.
So the Forge Tavern on Bethel Road. If I don't want to
don't spoil the episode.
No, but we were kind of touring around, what if we could do this show live somewhere?
Yeah.
And the second we sat down and ordered a beer, somebody rolled a big handful of dice. I'm like, you know what?
Nope.
This is a terrible idea for a live show.
Yeah, we can do it here. It's hard enough to sit here and drink.
Right. I'm jumpy just from the guy behind me rolling all these fat dice. Yeah. But yes, Studio 35 is 100% what is going to be a show in the future. Forge is a show in the future.
Yeah.
But all the breweries, and again, we're right on the cusp of patio season 2, which is that's our time to shine.
That's where we come alive.
By 4:15 on every Friday from April to October, it's toes up and beers down.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I don't want to risk touching the sound pad again.
Yeah.
To lead us into Police Beat. We had some technical difficulty starting the show.
Yeah.
So, and again, a change that we made was we put out a poll for people to pick.
Yeah.
Which article we were going to read. And I found one that was thought-provoking, would lead to discussions about family and what you owe family and what you owe yourself for your own mental health. And 75% of you voted for the one that had the word naked in it. So I will sit quietly by while Tom reads his naked article.
Hello, my people. Yeah, I don't know. Yours was exponentially more interesting. Actually, so
C'est la vie.
Mine's just naked. Man arrested at laundromat for doing laundry buck naked. It seems some people can make themselves at home anywhere. A man was arrested recently after he inexplicably began stripping in a Georgia laundromat. When police arrived on the scene, David Bennett, age 55, quote, had his shirt off and his shorts down, according to a Coffee County Sheriff's Office report obtained by Douglas Now. Bennett never explained why he was taking off his clothes, per the report. He was charged with indecent exposure and has since been released. There should be more there.
Wait, that's the end of the... that's it.
We're missing a lot. There's...
Yeah.
I mean, aside from the fact that the picture's fantastic.
Okay, again...
Should we spend a minute on the picture?
Yeah, this is the last episode. We're doing audio only, too. We're moving to a video format next month.
So, next month you can see
so
the poor bastard we're talking about.
I will use him as the clip art for this episode so you can look at it. But I want to point out that we are the same age as this guy in this mugshot. So... he has not aged well.
No.
It looks like he shops wherever Hamburglar gets his clothes.
I was going to say that or Beetlejuice.
Oh, yeah. Or the Vans store.
Oh, off the wall.
But, I mean, again, as I'm sure he had a rough life, and it shows in his 55 years. But if you look at the mugshot, is he 6'6" or something? If you look at the website, there's all of these sixes on the right side of the picture, and I can't tell if that's
6 something. It's 100
inches or something, but
it's 170. He's just shy of 180 centimeters.
Yeah.
So that's 6'5" 2.
But he's a gigantic man dressed like Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Well, when he's dressed.
That's it,
Who,
exactly.
when clothed,
Right.
adorns himself as Beetlejuice.
Yeah, but I don't know.
He's rocking the chessboard.
If you're going to be naked anywhere in public, the one that makes the most sense is a laundromat.
True.
You know? Maybe he has no social boundaries and he's just very fucking thorough.
Yeah.
Like, I want 100% of my clothes clean.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right? Is Dirty Dungarees still a thing?
Yeah. They have a stage there, too.
God damn.
Yeah. If that's like
this town is nuts.
Dirty Dungarees is like a hardcore metal place now.
Really?
Yes.
Right on.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, that tracks. It's Columbus.
Yeah. It's absolutely still. It's probably bigger than when you left, honestly. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I read this and I'm like, that's some Dirty Dungarees level shit.
Right.
Just drunk off your ass. And,
I mean...
I'm going to watch my drawers. Look, wait a minute.
No, when I first read it, I'm like, okay. I've forgotten I'm in public before, too, so I kind of see where he's headed. I mean, have you ever walked into a men's room and just pulled your pants all the way down to your ankles and started peeing?
No.
And then, I'm not done yet.
Oh, sorry.
And then the door opens and you have that moment like, oh, fuck, I'm not at home.
No.
Still no. Okay.
Still no.
So maybe that's what happened to this guy. You know, David Bennett, age 55, but looking 95. Or he's batshit crazy.
Batshit crazy.
And after released from the police, he just did it again.
Promptly found another laundromat.
Yeah. So, my only question is, and again, I'm so afraid to use the sound pad, but I can't use my CSI sound. But so he stripped all of his clothes to put them in the washer.
We don't know that.
Okay,
We assume that.
Okay, his shirt at least.
We don't. There was no mention of laundry being done.
He just folded them and put them.
There was no mention of laundry. The location was a laundry, but there was no mention in the report about him actively
putting it in a washer,
doing laundry.
Okay, let's
he was
assume,
just in a laundromat, naked.
For the sake of argument,
okay,
that he was washing his clothes. Okay,
okay, that's okay.
So he puts the clothes he's wearing into the washer with the rest of his clothes. Mm-hmm. Where are the quarters he's going to use for the dryer?
Oh,
see.
I think you stack them on the dryer like when you got the next game at pool.
Is that it? They're on the marquee of the asteroids machine.
These are mine. Yeah. I play winter.
Next.
Yeah.
So they're stacked up on the dryer. Okay,
yeah.
That makes way more sense than the,
use his prison purse.
His laundry purse.
Yeah, I can make change.
Right. Turn around.
Just lean into it. Exhale.
I need a Snickers. Please look away.
That's maybe rude.
Oh my god. Okay.
Oh.
So again, you people asked for this, or at least 75% of you did.
Yeah. See, I was worried that this is how it would go when we let the people vote.
Yes. But, honestly, in today's world, to leave on a message of, this is what you fucking asked for, is not something you don't hear every day.
Yeah. Right? I don't want to leave on a cliche. This time.
Yeah. But again, starting next month, fingers crossed, we're finally embracing YouTube now that we know that it's not just a flash in the pan.
I think it's got legs.
This video entertainment may be sticking.
That Ralph Macchio kind of put me over the edge. That Cobra show.
What?
The Cobra Kai.
Oh, I've yet to watch that.
It's not even on there anymore. They've sold it to somebody else.
Seriously?
Yeah, I don't think it's on YouTube TV anymore.
Oh, okay. I had no idea.
I don't know where it is.
Right, okay.
It was a thing.
I wasn't looking for it.
Yeah.
But we're going video, and I'm if the last 30 seconds are any indication, it's going to be some compelling fucking video.
Oh, yeah. You need to DVR this shit.
Right.
Can you DVR YouTube? You don't even need to. It's just there.
See, the show's premise is you moved from California to Columbus, not you were in a fucking coma and woke up in Columbus.
I was in California. I may as well have been in a coma. I had to be in a coma just to survive. So you just turn your mind off, find your happy place, and wait to move.
DVR. So you can reach us at Columbus is Real at columbus.rr.com. At AOL.
You've got mail.
.cserve.
CompuServe.
At juno.com.
.net. Netscape.
So we're doing that. Again, we'll figure out some venue. I'm sure between now and the end of April, we'll go somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, if anybody has any ideas, like, golly, I wonder what those two white guys would think of X place in Columbus.
Right?
Hit us up.
I wonder if these two middle-aged white guys would find this fun.
The answer may surprise you.
It probably will.
Question 1, do they serve alcohol?
There are no more questions. That's my favorite place.
That's it. 5 stars.
I love it. Recommend highly.
Right. Once probation's over, we'll come back.
As soon as I get this ankle bracelet removed, I will re-frequent the establishment. What's the restraining order?
Right. Don't throw away my windbreaker. I'll be back.
I'll be back. That's my members only jacket. Just keep that behind the bar. Get back for it.
All right. But until then, we will catch all of you next month, except for Emily, which probably fell asleep because we're so boring. So,
oh, Emily.
Good night, Emily.
Good night, Emily.
And for the rest of you, we will see you in about a month or so.
Yeah. Join us.
All right. Ciao, cakes.
Ciao.